All eyes are usually on Moscow when it comes to Russian politics and protests. But with Alexey Navalny reportedly gravely ill, his allies argue it will take a nationwide uprising to ensure the jailed opposition leader's survival and perhaps, they argue, his release. In that effort, cities like St. Petersburg, once Russia's imperial capital and Vladimir Putin's hometown, play a key role. On Wednesday, about 10,000 Navalny supporters took to the streets, demanding Navalny be given urgent medical care. The response, a crackdown. Riot troops carried out scores of arrests, more than half of some 1,800 detained across the country overnight, say monitoring groups. Some protesters said they risked detention out of personal conviction, rather than expectations their presence would change Navalny's plight.
I'm here for me because I'm ashamed of what's happening. The last time I was at protest was in 1991.
While others argued that even with the government's show of force, time was ultimately on protesters' side.
Sooner or later, this criminal government will end. It's a question of mere biology. After all, we're younger.
But there's little doubt who remains in control for now. Throughout the night, scenes of riot police using electroshock guns on protesters and violent arrests designed to reinforce a message coming from the Kremlin. In his annual State of the Nation address Wednesday, Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a warning to perceived enemies, both at home and abroad, against crossing red lines. In recent days, Russian authorities have called for Navalny's anti-corruption foundation and its investigations into government graft to be banned under anti-extremism laws, opening up the likelihood of a new wave of repressions nationwide. Meanwhile, Navalny himself remains in prison, detained and sentenced upon his return to Russia last January after undergoing treatment for a near-fatal poisoning attack in Siberia last summer. The West has demanded Navalny's release and threatened consequences should Navalny perish. But with relations at near-Cold War lows, some fear the West has lost any means of persuasion it may have once had with the Russian leader, leaving Navalny's fate largely dependent on how many Russians rally to his cause and whether their voices carry loud enough to reach across the country and over the Kremlin walls. Charles Maynes for VOA News, St. Petersburg.